And here we go again, guys. Welcome to the channel, and in this case, reacting to Star Citizen Live Game Dev Making FOB. Before I go on, based on some of the comments, I have nothing against the people here. I have nothing even against the company. I simply understand what they are about, and there's things that I like about Star Citizen, and some of the things that could be, and some that I don't. And the only thing that I guess has changed a lot is understanding that it's not about a miscommunication or challenges with the tech or how difficult it is to stack items or create actual content for people to play. No, all of those problems, it's just pretending to have issues simply to justify what at the end of the day it's actually done, which is very, very little. And then when you start putting two and two together, you realize, okay, so you do very little content or almost none. You change the same thing 100 million times. We are not going anywhere, really. It's not advancing towards a final finished game. It's basically, yes, like a tech demo with a few missions. And then it's all about promoting and selling ships. So is this really a problem or an issue about miscommunication or bug? No. It is what you want to do. You're just not being honest and transparent about it, which, mind you, that's entirely your right. You don't need to disclose how you do business. That's going to be on us. As I've said before, it's on us to decide if McDonald's is healthy for you or not, if drinking Coke or drinking water is more suitable for you. That's going to be your call. Let's listen to what they have to say, because I think that this part in particular is quite telling.
Remember, the folks who were here watching the old days of Wingman's Hangar and stuff like that. You know, Wingman's Hangar was a great show, but if we're being completely honest, a lot of things were said in that show that don't apply to Star Citizen today. The problem with projecting out too far is that people change, ideas change, technology changes. You discover you can do something new that you couldn't do when you had that original design, and so then your design changes. You discover that you can't do something that you originally wanted to do, and so your design changes. New people come in with brand new ideas. You know, nobody wants to when you hire into a game studio, or any game studio rather, and you're full of ideas, you're full of experiences, you're full of knowledge, and you don't want to come into this environment and be like, oh well, every decision has been made. Every decision was made in 2013, and there's nothing for you to contribute. There's nothing for you to add to the project. You're like, oh, well, why am I going to be here? I'm just going to go somewhere else. So every new person who joins the project has, not every new people, but a lot of new people who join the project have new ideas, new thoughts and stuff like this. So
he's saying it will never be done because, as he correctly points out, time does pass. New people sign up and join the company, bringing their ideas, so everything changes always, thus nothing can actually be ever completed. Okay, I like this new version of Jared being honest about not ever finishing the game. Okay.
I like to synthesize all of that information and use it. One of my favorite things about CIG, and I've said this before, is that we're never afraid of the better idea.
Right.
It's when the better idea comes along, it's the only thing that matters is do we believe it to be a better idea? If we believe it to be a better idea, we go with that.
It is clearly the case that they're always throwing in new ideas. Kind of not so much, because there's nothing really new for us to ever play. Like in years now, we are messing around if we get a building, if we get a bird, if we get a dog. I was just playing No Man's Sky. I saw actual fucking birds. You know how some of these animals randomly created were just... No. They were birds, like pigeons flying. And it looks fantastic. You have to get the setting right in your graphics. Dude, Planets Part 1, it blows your mind. In another planet, there were deer. There was a little dude with a backpack that approached me, and I now have that little guy as a companion. That was randomly created. I don't know. I don't care. It shouldn't be on me to develop the game. It shouldn't be on me to call out all of the crap that you pretend to be suffering and dealing with, when actually it's all intentional, so as to, when the big boys sit down on that table, when good old Chris Roberts shows up, when all of the head honchos show up, the conversation is, how much money are we making? how can we make more? How can we keep on doing this? And all of those experts that they hired, they are bringing the ideas, but it's not on new game development, no new storylines, no new action content. It's you monetize doing this. You monetizing having people do this. Oh, but that's how you monetize. That's not fun. That's how you monetize. But what about new content? That's how you fucking monetize, okay? It's boring. It's time wasting. There's nothing new for you to do. Okay, just tell people to make their own gameplay. It's a multiplayer. Go play with someone. Play chess in a fucking Mercury Star Runner. I don't know. We're not gonna develop the game because that's not making money. What makes money is promoting, selling, event, selling, rewards. You know what rewards you have for events in No Man's Sky? Ships, actual fucking ships, freighters. Giant ass freighters in which you can walk inside and land several of your ships. You land it, you walk seamlessly, you just go in there, you land it, and you get ships. Not a CCU for spending $150. That's not a reward. That's not a prize. But I like that they're explaining that, giving that everything always changes, nothing will ever be finished. Okay.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes we try a thing and it's not the better idea. It's like, well, we all thought it was the better idea. Yeah, now we know it's not. Let's look for another better idea. That's game development, not game construction. But that's the reason why there's not a whole lot of time. And you'll find this at, I don't want to speak for every single game studio in the world, but you'll find this at quite a lot.
Jared, no. No Man's Sky, those guys those guys did a game. That's a finished game. Was it great when it first came out? No, but what I was talking about before, doesn't matter if you're a big company or you're a small company. It doesn't matter if you have a coffee shop or whatever it is. Do you do things just to try to rip off as much money as you can from the suckers that walk through that door? Or do I take pride in what I do? Do I make my best effort? Put all my heart, brain, and soul into it. It's not going to be perfect ever, but people will tell. I know that, as I was explaining before, I just finished publishing another book. I do it with my best effort. Everything I have goes in there. Everything. And people appreciate that. They can tell. Again, perfect? No. And the one that is most critical about everything, it's me. I can barely, read through things. Oh, but this and that could be better, and this and this. But at the end of the day, when you finish things, when you did that, people will tell, and people will reward you for it. Or you can hire a bunch of mercenaries that mostly monetize cell phone games and try to fleece as much money as you can from suckers that fall for it, that fall for the dream, that fell for the idea of what this could be one day.
Isn't that great?
This, or it might be this and stuff like this. Why we're not constantly going back and updating the old stuff. We work on the stuff that goes out soon. we work on the stuff that's right in front of us. It's in order to get 3.24 out, in order to get 4.0 out, in order to get
3.24. Yeah, that was great. I mean, it would have been better not to have any of that, but okay. Yeah, it's a lot worse. It's a lot worse in the key aspects of the game. Combat is a lot worse. No one can argue against that. Master modes is a fucking shameless disaster. The new inventory system is terrible. That's what they've been investing last couple of years, at least.
Get 4.1 after to Star Citizen today. And you're full of ideas, you're full of experiences, you're full of knowledge, and you don't want to come into this environment. The old days of Wingman's Hangar and stuff like that. Wingman's Hangar was a great show, but if we're being completely honest,
listen to this, because here I believe every word he just said. Every word. I believe every word he just said here.
A lot of things were said in that show that don't apply to Star Citizen today.
Lots of things that were said that don't apply. Okay, yeah, we get that. We get that. What you said, you're not fulfilling that. Yeah.
The problem with projecting out too far is that people change. Ideas change. Technology changes. You discover you can do something new.
Ideas change. People change. Chris Roberts has clearly changed. He used to be a guy that had a dream of making a fabulous, wonderful space sim game, and he changed. He changed into a businessman. He went from being a dreamer to being someone with a lot of money. Money is awesome, man. No one complains about that. But once you reach my ripe old age, you understand that there's more things to money, and there's a point in which I don't know, how much money do you need? What's life? What is it that you want to leave behind? How is it that you want to live every day? Do you want to live every day of your life sitting in a meeting room with a bunch of snakes telling you how you can make even more millions? Or would you rather live your days surrounded by people that honestly are trying to make a game? And we can tell if you're making a game. Just like we can tell when No Man's Sky is making a game. Just like we can tell when the guys from Larian Studios did Baldur's Gate with their heart in their sleeve like this, like with their heart and soul into that fucking game. And it is fabulous and it's terrific and everything. It's obviously there. Would you rather live like that, or would you rather sit with a bunch of of cell phone scammers? Yeah, time wasting, man. That's where it is, and then sell stuff. Yeah, we'll make a few million more. Let's do it. Choices. Everyone has to live with them, including all of us. Okay. See you next time, guys. Take care.